This tutorial will focus on how the fundraiser organizer can manage all aspects of the fundraising campaign. Let's start on my Sagepoint dashboard page. Here we see a list of all my currently active events and fundraisers. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a fundraising tab that I'll click on. This opens up the fundraising homepage and shows a list of my upcoming fundraising events. I may also click on the Past tab to view completed fundraisers, or I may click on the appropriate button to create a new event or a new sign-up from this window. Let's go back to my upcoming fundraising events. We see the start date of the event name, the status, which can be active, funds available, or past, the fundraising target amount if it's been specified, the dollars collected to date, a tracking bar if you've chosen to include this, the ability to view your sponsors, and finally the icons to edit, copy, delete, and view the rate schedule for your fundraiser. I will begin by clicking on View Sponsors for the Project Graduation 2014 example. A window is displayed that shows each of your sponsor categories by column with the total amount donated at each level and the names of the individual and business sponsors. This gives you a quick and easy overview on how you're progressing toward your fundraising goal. Click on the View Sponsors arrow again to close this window. Now I will click on the $ to show the rate schedule. The Earnings window opens and gives me an overview of my entire Project Graduation fundraiser, including Spirit Ad sponsorships and donations. Here I can review the commission rates for Spirit Ad sponsorships and donations and how my specific fundraiser is doing. This allows me to easily track the total Spirit Ad sales and donations and the total earned by the fundraiser to date. My fundraiser earnings will be distributed at the end of the campaign or quarterly for longer campaigns. Let's close this window and click on the Project Graduation fundraiser to open it. I'll show you some other things that you have control over as the organizer. First, let's go ahead and scroll down to the Tools for the Organizer section. As highlighted in previous tutorial videos, this section provides capabilities for creating an event link, showing sponsorships on your event website by cutting and pasting provided code, monitoring the status of your fundraiser, and exporting pertinent data. One thing to note is that at the end of your campaign, the status will display as funds available. I will show you a completed seasonal Spirit Ad campaign to illustrate this. Here is that campaign's Tools for the Organizer section. I click on Funds Available. I then fill in the pop-up fields and click Submit to send my information to Sagepoint. Sagepoint will then send me the campaign proceeds. For longer campaigns, information can be emailed to fundraising@sagepoint.com if quarterly payments are desired. I'll go ahead and close this window. Let's take a look at other things available to you as the organizer. Under the Sponsor This Event section, you'll see the approved and pending sponsorships. By mousing over the approved sponsors, you can see the sponsor name. If you have submitted your own sponsorship, you will see a red sponsor box indicating your sponsorship status. Here I have one that has been approved and one that is pending. Let's take a look at a pending sponsorship. This is a Spirit Ad that has been created by a sponsor and submitted for organizer approval. As the organizer, I want to click on the pending sponsorship, review the content, and if I determine that the content is an appropriate fit for my fundraising campaign, I approve the ad by clicking on the Approve button. The sponsor will receive an email notification indicating that the sponsorship has been approved. Go ahead and click Send. We see that the status under the Sponsor This Event section went from pending to approved, and if I scroll up and look at my sponsor logo column, I now see that the Kingsbridge Farm ad is listed under my Platinum sponsor. I'll go back to the Sponsor This Event section to point out a few more things. As the organizer, I may also sign up a sponsor on their behalf. For example, I may encounter a sponsor who asks that I create the sponsorship. The sponsor can provide me with the necessary information, and I can create their sponsorship using their email, business information, and credit card information. As usual, the sponsor will receive email notification that their sponsorship has been approved. Here's a sample of the email that a sponsor will receive indicating approval. As always, no sponsorships are displayed on the Sagepoint Fundraiser page or on the event web pages until they're approved by the organizer. Here's another scenario. I encounter a sponsor who wants to pay for their sponsorship via cash or check. I can create their sponsor card using their email and business information and use the special code provided by Sagepoint instead of the sponsor credit card to create the ad. Then, when I receive payment for the sponsorship, I may approve the ad for publication. It should be noted that your group retains 100% of amounts paid directly to you via cash or check. The commission and revenue share amounts displayed on the Fundraiser tab will be based only off of payments processed through Sagepoint. The organizer may also edit existing sponsorships. By clicking on an Approve Sponsor button, the sponsor information window opens and I can then click on Edit Sponsor Card to edit the content. This is especially helpful if I notice a typo or other mistake in the sponsor card. After completing the edits, I click on Update and click Done, and the sponsorship now shows up as pending. As mentioned before, I go ahead and click on this and approve the ad. Here is an example of the email that the sponsor will receive when their sponsor card is edited. You also have the ability to delete any sponsorships that have not been approved by clicking on the red circle minus icon. Once a sponsor has been approved, they cannot be deleted. However, you can remove the sponsor from being displayed by editing the sponsorship and leaving it in pending mode. Finally, let's take a look at the donation section. I, as the organizer, may enter a donation on behalf of a sponsor, again using their email, billing, and credit card information. As noted earlier, the sponsor will receive email notification of their approved donation. In summary, you have the ability to manage your fundraiser at every step of the campaign, assisting sponsors as necessary and monitoring its overall progress. For a list of all Sagepoint tutorials, please go to tutorials.sagepoint.com. To get started on creating your own event or fundraiser, go to www.sagepoint.com.